Good afternoon, Heidi Foy here with Bullfrog Creatives. Holy cow, you can tell that we have taken a hiatus because I'm a little rusty on all my buttons over here. Today, we are going to be chatting with Steve Birnie, who is from the Rocky Mountain region. He's a coach in the Rocky Mountain region. I'll just pull him up right now. We'll do some housekeeping, but it's been a long time. I took a long break. You guys kicked my butt the week of the college finals. I don't know how you guys do that, running around so much.
It dang sure is a busy week.
Oh, man. So for those of you guys that are tuning in, I see there is one person live. Let's be honest, it might be my mom, but we won't talk about that. So we did a ton of stuff during the college finals. We went live a lot, probably more than some people wanted to see, but we also partnered with Cinch and some of our other TV sponsors to do a morning show called CNFR Morning. So if you guys missed that, it's at least some good BSing, to say the least. But hopefully we'll be able to bring that back to you. And I do have an in that we will probably be bringing NFR Hangover back for this year as well, which is kind of a whole different ballgame outside of college rodeo. But we do see a lot of the same people. So there's lots of things planned. I know we're doing some different things with recruitment coming up soon, hopefully after the first of the year. So anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about what happened. So Steve, talk to us a little bit how your fall season went. I know hopefully feeling more normal than what we did last year.
Yeah. Quite a bit, actually.
Good.
Last fall, we had a couple rodeos that kind of postponed to the spring, hoping things would get better. For one school, they didn't. Idaho State wasn't able to have their rodeo at all last year.
Gosh.
Usually they're a fall rodeo. This fall, they were back up and running, had a really good rodeo there in Pocatello. When we went to Cedar City, last year was just kind of normal. This year it was the same huge crowds down there every year. Shane and the Lions Club in Cedar City, they do an amazing job. Put on a great rodeo. When we went to Utah State and Utah State Eastern last year, there's masks. We had to wear masks and we had to take our temperatures before we left and some of those kind of protocols. This year, we're not seeing any of that. Utah Valley, which the last several years has been a fall rodeo, they had moved last year to the spring, and they're just going to stay in the spring, it looks like, for now. So we had 4 rodeos this fall, pretty normal. Everything was great. Our region looks pretty good. Lots of kids, obviously a lot more than last year.
Good. That's good news for everybody.
Yeah, not we were up there. I mean, nowhere near the Central Plains and some of those regions, but for the Rocky Mountain region, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were 160 or so members, which is really good. We've just steadily been growing. Obviously, the last year and a half, things have kind of gone down, but we're building back up. So
good.
Our numbers look better. There's a lot of kids in a lot of schools. We had more kids. We had 27 kids this year when school started, and a lot of freshmen, 18 freshmen, which for us is a lot. And we only have 25 or 26. More than half is a lot, but great kids, really talented, good kids, and so far they've done well in the classroom and are just good to be around. That we have fun. I don't know if you want to see some funny stuff. Check out the CSI Rodeo Team Facebook page and watch some of the wild rides that we had last week.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear. The College Rodeo here in town does a wild ride, and it's so fun. It's the one thing that I've learned doing this is that each region kind of has a unique twist on some things, and it's fun to see some of that. I don't know what region they were doing foot races or something, but I'm not signing up for any of that anytime
No,
soon, but
no,
it's just nice to see the camaraderie and that fun piece. And I think rodeo is super unique in that the camaraderie is always there and
oh
the
yeah,
connection outside of the arena too. So you touched on something that the region's numbers were up a little bit. Of course, I think up over last year. There were so many questions as to
right,
whether or not it was actually going to happen, whether there was going to be a CNFR. And so I
right,
know that from a national level, across the board, the memberships were down, and a lot of people were waiting to see if those regions that didn't have rodeos in the fall, if they were going to even be able to move forward in the spring,
right,
then they were going to buy their membership. So I'm
right.
super happy to hear you say that memberships are better than last year. Hopefully, I mean, I think not as good as they were pre-COVID, but
Right,
definitely
right,
growing back up there. I think that's crucial to the
right.
longevity of the entire association, not just the longevity of your region. So I'm
Oh, for
really happy
sure.
to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. And I know I'm talking to, Justin Hampton, who
Mhm.
is a coach now in the Southern region.
Oh
We
yeah,
talked quite a bit. He went from West
West
Hills
Coast. Yeah.
to they moved to Texas. He was going to be a
Whew.
fourth grade teacher, and then got a coaching job, I think, at Northeast Texas.
Ooh, I might have to have him on. We can
Mount
talk about
Pleasant.
that.
Anyway, they said their numbers are through the roof, and
Good.
I've heard in the Southwest region they're really, there are a lot of kids down there, and I mean there always are, but
Mhm.
even more than normal. I think everybody, um, just like I'm sure the rodeos that you went to this summer. I mean, every rodeo it seemed like that I was at this summer
Numbers
just
were up.
had huge crowds. People are
Yes.
ready to get out there, and I think the college contestants are chomping at the bit and excited to college rodeo again and hopefully have a normal season
Yeah,
and
for
no,
sure.
no.
So I realize you're in a little bit of a unique situation, but talk to me about the competition in your region. I mean, who is standing out? I can look at the standings. That's not what we're about, but what are some of the unique situations in the Rocky Mountain region right now?
I think really there's a lot of parity, especially in the women's teams. There's a ton of good kids, and it's just kind of for whatever reason, just the women's teams. It seems are just have a lot of good kids, and it might bounce back and forth one weekend to the next. Who's on top. Utah Valley right now is in Idaho State, and we're not too far. I think 10 or 20 points behind Idaho State on the women's side. Um, but you go to the rodeo, and there's just a ton of great girls competing. On the men's side, um, our rough stock kids are kind of keeping us in the lead.
Mhm.
Um, we kind of have most of the rough stock kids in the region. It's sad to say that the rough stock numbers in general are low.
It
Uh,
looks like they're low just from the standings.
yeah, but we've got Utah Valley has a bunch of tough kids. There's some tough kids at USU, Utah State.
Mhm.
Derek Wadsworth, who was on our team the last couple of years, he's at Utah State. He's also the regional student president. He's tough. Um, there's kids at Snow College and Southern Utah. There's just a lot of really good kids, and like I said, our rough stock kids are kind of really anchoring things for us, which is good. I mean, we've got some of those kids. Wes Shaw, who's leading all around. He rides bareback horses, bulldogs, calf ropes, team ropes. He's really talented. Um, Breck Sanderson, who won the region in the bulldogging last year. Yeah, I think he and Derek are tied for the win, are
Mhm.
leading the bull riding standings. Um, we've got a lot of, not very many kids that are just one end of the arena,
Yeah.
which is really good. You get them on the points team. It sure pays off. Nick Joyce, Wyatt Lloyd, um, Aaron Champneys. We got just a bunch of good kids that can do more than one thing, and if they have a good weekend and are in 3 or 4 events, it dang sure piles the points up for you.
Yeah, and the thing too, I mean, it can go, I guess it can swing both ways, but if they break out of the weekend and have a great ride in one event, then they're fired up for the next
Oh yeah,
few events to keep on
sure,
going. And of course that can swing the other way, but you know, I've talked about it on this platform a ton that the mental game in college rodeo is kind of how you separate yourself from the other competition, just because the talent level, everyone's pretty good at this level, and you
right,
separate yourself in your mental game and how you can move on from a bad or a good ride
right,
and make a better one, or make, you know, do better in the next
right.
place. So I think it's always really fun to watch those multi-event contestants, women and men.
Right. And it's really interesting and fun to watch the freshmen coming in that, college rodeo versus high school rodeo or little britches or whatever is
Mhm.
so different because in most places, these kids are now, they're away from home for the first time. They've got to take care of their horses
Mhm.
themselves. They've got to get to the rodeo themselves, and just combining all those things that they've never had to worry about. They get out of the truck, go check
Yeah.
in, get on, warm up, and go compete. Mom or dad drives and buys food and takes care of everything. Now they've got to incorporate all those different things into not just getting to the rodeo, but also competing and trying to win.
Mhm. Few
Um,
more irons in the fire, so to
yeah,
speak.
for sure. So it's really nice to see those kids that have the maturity coming in that can kind of do that. Um, with we're there's some coaches that babysit their kids, and there's some that don't. I mean, we try to train them at practice to handle it at the rodeo, and obviously we're there to help them at the rodeo. But we want them to kind of think for themselves a little bit. And
Yeah, I mean, at that to an extent too, there's only so much you can do for them.
oh yeah, oh yeah, um, you know. Uh, but it's fun to watch those kids, and they're even really talented kids are going to have, they're going to struggle, and to see how they deal with it and how they take the coaching and the encouragement and the strategies that we try to give them to help them, deal with those setbacks. And okay, you got 2 minutes to think about it and what went
Keep
right,
going.
what went wrong, and now it's out, and now you're on to the next thing. And
Yeah, you know, I tell my kids, you have 3 minutes to be mad about this, and then we've got some other stuff to do.
yeah,
Which, listen, I mean, there's adults that don't do that.
oh yeah,
So we're all learning. We're all
oh yeah,
learning about these things.
yeah,
Steve, I appreciate your time. I mean, we're pretty short. We're not BSing for an hour these days, just because we've got other things going on. But I appreciate your time. I appreciate the update for the region. For any of you guys that are interested in learning more about the Rocky Mountain region, or more specifically about College of Southern Idaho, there is, if you look in our videos, there is a video that Steve and I did, an interview. I don't even know when we did it, but he kind of talks more about his program and how he coaches and all the details of that. You're going to want to look back on that. In fact, I'll probably go back and share it, so you guys don't have to dig for it. But I appreciate your time, Steve. I know that it seems like we're going to be back in full swing. Everything's looking really good. Hopefully we can get some more coaches and or student
yeah.
directors, faculty directors on here, and we'll touch base with all the regions. For those of you guys that are new on this platform, um, we talk about all things college rodeo. We don't talk a lot of results because there's plenty of people doing that, but we talk about things that are going on outside of the arena. So
Yeah.
if there's someone in particular that you would like for me to have on the broadcast, then please do shoot me a message. You can private message me here. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We don't go there very often because it's a whole different ballgame there. And then also we have a website that has a little bit more information about what I do and where I came from. Steve, thank you so much. I'll do a quick wrap up, and I appreciate your time.
You
Yeah.
bet. If you have a second, we've got a few events coming up this winter.
Oh, yes.
Might be of interest to not just rodeo kids, but rodeo fans in general. January 8th, we're going to have an open bull riding here at the Expo Center in Twin Falls. January 15th, Chancey Williams in concert here at the Expo Center.
We're big fans of that guy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, January 29th, the Cowboy and Cowgirl Boxing Smoker,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is about 45 years strong. And then we have our rodeo schools in February, horse riding, bucking horses, barebacks and saddle broncs, February 18th, and bull riding and bullfighting, February 25th. So they're
Perfect.
3-day schools. And
yeah, if you have flyers or something or any information on any of those events, email them over to me and I'll put them up on our Facebook page. Again, Steve, thank you so much for your time. I know it was pretty quick, but just a quick want to touch base on what's going on in that region. I appreciate your time, and I guarantee we will have you back on here.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Heidi.
Thank you. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I know it was pretty short. We're not really known for small conversations around here, but just wanted to get back out in front of you guys. It's been a long time, I know. But again, life and school and summer and all the things, and now the snow is falling, and so I'll have a little bit more time. Yes, we have snow. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not quite ready for that yet. Like I said, if you guys have, if there is a college contestant, a college student athlete, or a coach that you want to hear from, message me and we'll do our best to get them on here. We really like to talk about what's going on outside of the arena, but we certainly can ask those questions about competition as well. So you guys have a wonderful day, and we will catch you on the flip side. Also want to give a shout out to Cinch Jeans. They have been supporting us now for a little over a year. We're certainly proud of that partnership, and definitely appreciate all the ladies in the office. They're shooting over all their stuff and their goodies. They're so quick and they're so responsive, and we appreciate them so much. So I definitely want to give them a shout out. All right, y'all. Short but sweet. Not my MO, but we like what we're doing. So if you guys like what we're doing, go ahead and give us a few likes, share our page. And if you need information about a college for recruiting purposes, also reach out to me. We have tons of college interviews that are archived, but we also would be more than happy to have them back on. So give us a holler. All right, y'all, have a wonderful, see, look, I'm totally out of practice of all these buttons I'm supposed to be pushing. You guys have a wonderful week, and we will catch you on the flip side.